Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Market Minute. My mission is to help you better understand the latest trends in the U.S. real estate market and share with you my analysis and industry expertise. I want to help you gain an advantage and feel confident whenever you're buying and selling real estate. I'm your host, Mark Salib. I'm a passionate real estate professional, advisor, and investor, and I love what I do. Follow and DM me on Instagram at The Salib Group. Send me an email, mark@thesalibgroup.com. And as always, thank you for tuning in to today's show. All right, today I want to talk about something that I think is one of the biggest mistakes people make when they say they want to get into real estate investing. And it's that they're still thinking like a home buyer. If you're trying to become an investor and you've bought a home, you may think to proceed sort of in that same vein. You need to fix that because you're not going to take advantage of the opportunities that are starting to show up in the market. Here's the problem. So I'm working with someone right now, in fact, and it's a home buyer who bought a home about 4 years ago, and it was their first home. They built up some equity, and they've got some additional cash from that equity from their business, and they want to turn into a real estate investor. It sounds like the perfect setup, but here's what I'm seeing with this setup. This person is still thinking like they're buying their first home. So what do I mean by that? They want to go see properties. They want to compare a few. They want to do a bunch of comparables. They want to pick the one they like. They want to make an offer. They want to try to negotiate. They hope it gets accepted. It's not really investing. It's searching for a home to buy. And this is where the mindset shift, I think, has to happen. See, home buyers shop, investors attack. What does that mean? Home buyers shop, investors attack. A home buyer is looking for the one. And investors looking for a deal. Home buyers are emotional. They're selective. They might make one offer a month. They want to feel good about it. They want to feel something about the purchase. Investors are strategic. They're opportunistic. They get aggressive. And they know that it's a numbers game. And that's the key point I want to make. And that's the key point I want to make specifically about the situation that I'm seeing with this particular home buyer who wants to become an investor of real estate. What I told him was you can't make one offer a month. You should be making 10, 15, 20 offers a month, because the bottom line is you're trying to find a deal. You're most likely going to offer below market value. You're hoping to find maybe a distressed property, maybe a property that, maybe the seller needs to sell, right? So yeah, even if you don't see the property, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you get rejected 10, 15, 20 times, that's kind of the point. You're not trying to win every deal. You're trying to find one seller who will accept your price and your terms. Okay, so where do you get that? Where do you get these opportunities? Well, you got to start with buyer's markets, right? That's where you want to be doing this in. You want to look for a buyer's market. What do we mean by that? Inventory's building. You got homes sitting on the market. Sellers getting frustrated. Keep cutting prices, taking, say less than what they wanted to, less than asking, right? That's where leverage shifts in your favor as the investor. That's when and where the investor steps in. So you're not just looking for the nicest house on the market. You're not looking for a house that you like. You're looking for properties that are waiting around, sitting for a long time on the market. Maybe they need work. Maybe sellers, are under pressure for some reason. Those are the situations where you can buy below market value. And in a recent episode, it was actually back on April 15th, I broke down a Realtor.com report. The name of the episode, if you want to check it out, it was called "Only 8 Markets Favor Buyers Right Now. Here's Why." We covered 8 markets in that episode. We talked about where those 8 markets are buyers markets according to Realtor.com, and they were situations where inventory was rising. All right, homes were sitting longer on the market. There were price cuts, and that's the environment where this strategy kind of works best. Right, you want to start in those markets. But in the past, I've talked about in other episodes, I've talked about other situations too, where you have other buyer type markets where prices have already come down a lot. So you can look for markets where maybe prices have come down quite a bit and there's some bargains to be had if you have a long-term mindset. Places like Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Florida, we've talked about it in a report, Austin, Texas, right? Those are actually negative in growth, right? But they've already seen meaningful corrections. So when you combine a market that's already dropped a lot with buyer-friendly conditions, you get some decent long-term upside potential over the next several years. And that's where you want to go after, a lot of these properties, right? So you got to know how to take advantage of that. You got to not think like I'm buying a home for myself. You have to think I'm an investor. And it's really key what I said earlier, right? You don't find a deal necessarily. You actually create a deal through volume. What you should be doing is not shopping for a home, looking and deciding, this looks good, let's put an offer. And you find yourself, because of all the time you're taking looking and visiting properties, that you're only putting in about 1, maybe 2, 3 offers a month. When in reality, you should be putting out 10, 15, 20 a week and see which one hits. So you create the deal through volume. So if you're only making one offer, you're not investing. You're just hoping. And that's not really a strategy. So the real question is this: are you trying to buy a home for yourself, or are you trying to build wealth through real estate investing? Because those are two totally different mindsets. And what I noticed with this person that I was working with was I needed them to shift their mindset from visiting and touring homes and thinking in that mindset of I'm buying a home just like I did last time when I was a first-time home buyer, right? So again, remember it. Think about it like I'm looking for markets that are bottoming. I'm looking for opportunities. I'm looking to see where can I find maybe distressed properties. You go after it. Go in volume, 10, 15, 20 offers at a time, and see which one perhaps sticks. That's the key. That is it for me today. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. And as always, if you have questions or need specific advice, ideas, or just some help regarding your particular real estate needs or situation, or if you're just looking to buy or sell real estate in Florida, well then DM me on Instagram at The Salib Group, or just send me an email to mark@thesalibgroup.com. Don't forget to leave a rating for the show, follow, subscribe, help others find the show, and be informed and educated about the real estate market just like you. Until next time. Before we end today's show, stop what you're doing and subscribe right now to Real Estate Market Minute Plus. Listen to all episodes ad-free. Get exclusive bonus episodes and content, and help support the show's growth, longevity, and future improvements. Go to realestatemarketminute.supercast.com right now. You can also find the link in this episode's show description. Check it out. I know you'll love it.